All right. So next story. Vinny is... Vinny, you're not going to be happy with this next story, but I'm going to have to go to it anyways.
What?
Assisted dying bill moves forward. And not only does this bill move forward, they're allowing people to make recommendations of individuals.
So wait, so if I want somebody to get killed, like if I want somebody dead,
I would recommend such and such. Consider that. All right, so let's go. So
I got a
political.
great recommendation for you, buddy. Yeah, what's that?
Voting
off Earth.
The Medical Aid and Dying Act passed by Assembly last month awaits a Senate vote with Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins, I don't think any relations to DeMarcus, stating, I'm happy that the conversation is starting around death and dying and promising to bring the bill to the floor once her conference secures enough support, noting 25 senators currently sponsor the bill, which needs 32 votes to pass. Aid in Dying Advocates, led by Corinne Carey, Senior Campaign Director for Compassion and Choices, really, observed growing Democratic support, with Carey noting Stewart Cousins is engaged in a way this year that she's never been before, while some Democratic senators would vote for the bill if it reaches the floor, but hesitate to sponsor. Tom, what do you think about this assisted dying bill moving forward? And this is a story by Politico.
And this is in New York, okay? So this is in New York. And New York had assisted dying thanks to the mafia for a long time. But it was...
Way to go, Tom, with the joke.
Yeah, so I'll be here all week. Yeah. No, I don't like it. And here's what I don't like about it. The Assisted Dying Act basically puts something in the hands of the government that maybe someday could be used the wrong way. We live in a time where boomers are living longer. We got a lot of people in Social Security, and we're going to have a lot of economic strength. The future looks bright, but the future is not without problems to be solved, and some of them are big problems, like the number of people that will be on Social Security and Medicare and what it's going to cost when they're there. And what do you do with them who are destitute, that don't have family, and then they have Alzheimer's, and they're in facilities, and the government's paying for that? Well, let me tell you, other countries have run into this, and tiny countries in the Benelux region of Europe have basically just said, well, then at some point in time, we just, we give them the needle, euthanasia. An 85-year-old person who's destitute and all like this.
Wait, euthanasia? Like young people in Asia?
No, euthanasia as in...
Why's you got to be worried about the youth in Asia?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Have you ever seen Ali G?
Here we go.
What's the...
Yeah, let him finish his point.
So I want to know about the youth in Asia.
But we're seeing it, and I believe it was Netherlands that basically got to the point that said, look, if they're old, destitute, a burden to society...
Are you for it, Tom?
I'm not for it, because everything I'm talking about, like Netherlands and things, you put something on the books that you think it's good. Oh, well, people can choose. You can do like this, and doctors can. Well, what does the doctor choose if you have no family there? And what if you're not the one that was choosing it? You're old, infirm, and it's people around you making the decision for you. Once you put this on the books, it can be used in bad ways, which is why I don't like it.
Okay, let me ask you. These are some of the folks out there that are campaigning. You mean to tell me like this wouldn't convince you to support it, Rob, if you can show the picture? Vote yes to assisted dying. Look at the lady in the middle, who all the way in the middle to the left, pink. Can you go zoom in on her face a little bit?
Let us choose.
They all look
there.
like that.
Look at she's pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
The one on the left,
BBD?
the one on the left is a little bit. Yeah, you're right. The one on the left is a little bit concerned, but look at the one all the way to the right. She's worried. She may be like being nominated. Go all the way to the right, Rob. Zoom out a little bit. Not that one. Look at that one. Look, she's like about to run off.
Yeah, she doesn't look happy.
Give me choice over my death. How much you think these guys got paid to just go out there and hold these signs up?
By the way, this isn't New York. I believe this is Scotland.
Yeah, but no matter what it is, are these people going out there doing this because they support it? Are these guys doing it because they're getting paid? Question though, do you think, does anybody here have the thought of saying, I would support people being able to choose to take their lives? Adam, are you in a place of choice? Are you in a place of, no, we shouldn't make that available to everybody?
Well, look, I'm old enough to remember in the late 90s, there was a guy named Dr. Death, Dr. Jack Kevorkian.
Armenian, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who played him? in a movie?
Don't tell me Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Great one.
Yeah.
Hooah!
And you could go in Rolling Stone magazine and you could buy his death machine, which was an IV kit. That's what Adam's talking about.
Yeah.
Tom,
So
don't give people ideas. He's joking, folks. He's joking.
Yeah.
But go ahead, keep
No,
going.
it's
Tom.
Kevorkian at the time.
Oh my God, Tom! Don't give him ideas. Those things you can still find those things on eBay. Go ahead.
I used to
Tom.
buy them and gift them to people.
Adam, Tom, go ahead, Adam.
no, Tom, keep going.
Your light's on, Adam.
Okay, my bad. Well, I remember this guy, Dr. Jack
Adam's
Kevorkian.
actually in the insurance industry. So
That's
that
true.
But
So,
go ahead, Adam.
I
The life settlement. Go
understand,
ahead. Yeah.
Well, life insurance should be called death insurance, but that's a whole
Used
other
to be
conversation.
called death insurance.
Yeah,
They changed it. Yeah.
Changed it.
yeah,
Sounds
because it's
way
called marketing. Anyway, this guy was a super controversial figure because basically he was helping terminally ill people
Armenians is.
off themselves, and it was very controversial. I want to say that he was in fact convicted of I think murder, second-degree murder. Here, he's convicted of second-degree murder and served 8 years of a 10 to 25-year prison sentence. He was released on parole in June 2007 on a condition he would not offer advice or participate or be present in the act of any type of euthanasia or any other person that he talked about the procedure of assisted suicide. So apparently this is frowned upon, and it's not something that did. But it's such a dark, dreary, uncomfortable conversation.
I asked the question.
Like these people.
Here's the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
Are you at all for it? Is it a libertarian idea to say if somebody wants to take their lives, leave it to them? Vinny.
Well, how do you stop somebody? So here's can I answer this? So
I'm waiting.
if someone wants to kill themselves,
Yeah.
can they do that?
Anybody could.
No, they
Of
get
course.
arrested
It's
after they
murder.
kill
You're
themselves.
murdering
You go to jail.
yourself.
Exactly.
Right after you kill yourself, you
so
go
the
to
question
jail.
is the person who is helping to facilitate do that, are they convicted? So if someone says, no, I'm terminally ill, I don't want to live like this, rather than take a pill or God forbid shoot myself or hang myself, I want to go about this in a humane way.
Yeah, that's
I'm willing
normal.
to
They'll put
sign
in their trust and say,
Okay.
if I'm getting close to dying and I'm a cabbage
let
or
me-
I'm a
Yeah, you can let me
vegetable,
go.
let me go.
Sure.
Don't keep me alive for
Yes.
no
Yeah,
reason.
DNR.
Let
Do
me go.
not resuscitate.
So-
Okay,
Yes.
but that's assuming.
So
you think that
again,
the
let me go to
average
somebody
person
else.
has
I'll
a
come
will
back
or
to you.
trust.
Guys, do you think it's an idea that we should entertain?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
God, Pat, we talk about Christianity. God doesn't make mistakes. Okay, if you're still breathing,
I've seen a bunch of mistakes
If
God has
you're
made, buddy.
breathing, you are here for a reason. I don't care how hard life gets. He doesn't give you more than you can handle. Period. End of story. You don't get to check out because it's hard. That's not dignity. That's called surrender. All right. The same way I feel about abortion. Umberto made a great point. All those people with that pink and all that stuff, pretty sure they're all for abortion. Okay. We don't get to decide when the life should end. Okay. That's God's job. It's not yours. Okay. Some people call it compassion. I call it playing God. And the last I checked, none of us qualify to be God. So God, let God do his thing. That's, to me, that's murder. You're killing somebody, just like a freaking abortion.
Vinny,
and you're helping them die.
I respect
You can
your
respect-
opinion here.
Yeah.
I think it's, and I'm not saying you, I hear it's such a cop-out to say it's all in God's hands. God doesn't make a mistake.
He
I would
doesn't make
never-
mistakes.
Okay.
God makes mistakes?
Well, then, you know what? Then humans certainly do.
Great point. Because humans
but
have
the point
evil
is,
in their
it's
heart.
It's such an easy, blatant answer
No,
to
it's
be
not.
like,
It's not easy.
God would never make a mistake.
No, he doesn't.
God would never do this.
Adam, because you're not are you
Okay.
a Christian? Do you believe in God?
No,
Do you go
I'm
to-
the original Christian, buddy. It's called Jewish.
Yeah, okay.
You follow our stuff.
Okay, but you believe
that's
Jesus Christ
irrelevant.
is the Savior.
But
No,
that-
you don't.
But that's
So
irrelevant.
That's a whole different conversation.
Here we go.
But the point is this.
So,
It's such
yeah.
a cop-out to be like, God doesn't make mistakes. Blanket answer. We can't
think
even have a
that- so you
conversation
think
now
you-
because God
okay.
doesn't make mistakes.
Okay. He
So-
doesn't, Adam. You make mistakes. Human beings make mistakes. The devil gets in people and he makes them make mistakes. So when people go, oh, this baby in here, I'm going to kill it.
How are you
Or
so convinced of this?
I'm convinced 100% because I have something called faith, Adam. I have
faith,
faith.
if you actually define faith,
It's believing in
not
something.
100%.
No, I believe in faith
It's-
because
it's-
I've seen
it's-
it. I've lived it, Adam.
No,
so for somebody to
but
say
faith, the definition of faith
No.
is not 100%.
No.
It's the uncertainty, but the belief. It's not 100%.
Adam,
the
Jesus-
actual definition of faith is that you cannot be 100% certain.
Okay.
That is the actual definition of faith, is that I think this is going to, I believe so much, but I'm not sure. So you use the term 100%, but you're not 100%.
Jesus-
That is literally why it's called faith.
you don't have faith
Let
in
me
God.
go to Tom first. Tom, tell me
Jesus
what
Christ
you
was
think
here,
about
Adam, and they wrote about it, and everybody proved it that everything that he said happened. And out of all the religious leaders, Muhammad, Buddha, everything, you know what everybody wrote, and it's been proven, Adam. This is my faith that Jesus Christ is the only one that died and came back to life.
He remixed
That's
it.
the guy.
He remixed
That's the guy.
it. Well, I want him to come back again
Well,
soon.
He will.
He will, and it's not
one
going
of
to be
these
good.
days, guys.
It's not going to be
He
good for
will.
people that like killing themselves and killing other people, Adam.
So let me ask you a
And when
question.
he,
If
when
we're
he
gonna ask
shows
this,
up,
you know what I
Adam,
find?
when
You know what I
Jesus
find
shows up,
ridiculous?
I want you and I to be on the same page, and I don't know if you really understand how badly I want that in my heart.
Thank you.
Regardless of how we argue, regardless of the snide comments that you and I make to each other, I'm responsible for mine. I want you and I to be on the exact same page when Christ comes back, and He is coming back.
I have one question.
Can I get one question?
When someone apologizes after being a scumbag, murderer, rapist, and they accept Jesus on their deathbed, do you think they should be resolved of their sins?
I love this question. If they
Murderer,
truly
child
Adam,
rapist,
Adam,
child rapist.
Okay, Adam,
Go ahead.
okay,
They accept Jesus
are
on
you
their
ready for
deathbed.
this? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
If in their heart of heart, and I don't see it,
Yeah.
He does. Okay. If they do, then Adam, I'm sorry. Yes, it is. Just like the thief that was crucified next to Jesus Christ, where one of them was mocking him. One of them was mocking him, and he was saying, well, you're the Son of God. Take yourself off. Save yourself and save us.
We
The other
don't deserve it.
We don't deserve it. And he said, shame on you. He said, shame on you. He goes, he hasn't done nothing. We deserve it. And he turned to him, that guy, and on the cross said, Jesus Christ, forgive me and forgive me of my sins. And what did Jesus say to him?
I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise.
Boom. That's how it happened, Adam. And again, bro, it's in your
So
heart.
no matter
it's
how
not this.
disgusting of a person you are on earth,
Yep.
if you accept on your deathbed,
Not accept Jesus, Adam. You truly ask.
okay,
it's
so
in your heart.
it's
You're
all,
really,
all is forgiven,
and you believe.
I have a very big problem with that.
Yeah,
But go
because
ahead.
you know why? Because you're
Because I'm a
leaving- you're
Jewish, Tom.
No.
Go ahead.
No. It's
Go ahead,
because
Tom.
it's because you're human and you're still living with your desire for vengeance and consequence. And the ultimate
try to just
judgment
listen. No,
is
listen,
not
Adam.
us.
No, Adam, listen
The
to this.
ultimate judgment is not us. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying from a human logic perspective. And as a human, that is our logic. We have great pain in our heart, and there's nowhere to put it, but there's only one physician that cures the ultimate pain, and that's Jesus Christ.
Boom.
And so what you're feeling is normal. How can it be logical and fair for this person that did this to it's not a get out of jail free card? If that faith is not sincere, if that call to Christ is not real, if that is not there, then the judgment will be passed on, and that's God's business, not my business.
Okay, can we get back to the question, Tom? Do you think there's anything about you here that thinks this story, because you circled it, that you wanted to talk
Yep,
about it?
I do, and I got
assisted dying bill moving forward. Do you think there's anything about it? Because I've asked this now 7 times. Anything about it where they should have the ability to do so?
Well, people have the ability to do so today. What I don't like is the word assisted and bill, because they're putting power into a law, and then these laws get used by countries and people the wrong way. I'm full of concern about how this law will be used in the future. There are people in this life that reach certain points and they want to tap out. That's not a decision I could ever make. If I'm not resuscitatable, I have a do not resuscitate. If I'm not resuscitatable and there's no brain activity, accident, illness, cancer in the future, don't use artificial machines to keep me going. And there's nothing going on, and there's no brain activity. And they're like, look, we are powering him. If there's no machines, his brain and his cancer and everything are done, and he's with the Lord. I might be, there's a great debate here, my soul might be with the Lord in the first place, you know? So I have a problem with assisted and bill. It's a law, and laws get used the wrong way by governments. To your question, that's what I don't like about it.
What do you think, Pat? How do you feel about it?
No, I think the libertarian position would be if somebody on this panel was a libertarian. We don't have a representative there. Rob, do you have a different position on this, or where are you at with this?
Compassion, if it's somebody that has ALS or an incurable disease and they're in pain, that's one thing. But if you're depressed and you have the blues and you want to go seek assisted dying, I don't approve of that
So
at all.
for you, it's based on what qualifies the individual to be able to have this assistant dying.
Yeah, if they're in medical pain and every day is torture for them to be
Yeah.
alive, that's one thing. But if I see a lot of this overseas where it's depression and this depression is, I can't beat it, I can't get through it. That's a different type of issue that could be solved through therapy, through medication, but there are diseases out there that there's no solving for.
Right. And by the way, if you think about it, this whole story with Jack Kevorkian in 1998, Kevorkian was arrested and tried for his role in the voluntary euthanasia of a man named Thomas Yauch, who had Lou Gehrig disease or ALS. He was convicted of second-degree murder, and then he gets whatever he gets to 10 to 25 years. That's 8 years on it, coming out with the fact that he would never speak to anybody else about it again. So that there is a libertarian faction that believes this ought to be the individual's choice to do whatever they want to do with their body. I'm a Christian. I don't subscribe to this at all whatsoever. But there is a community that says there is something to do here with it. And, you just have to hear their argument, what their argument is all about. For me, it's very simple, man. There's so many times in life where you're in a place where there seems to be no other reason to live. There's nothing to look forward to. You feel like you're the only person that's going through this challenging time. And it's tough. It's painful. You feel alone. You feel everyone's turned against you. Could be an ugly divorce. Could be a loss of a loved one. Could be a career. Could be you screwed up with a business partner that you had and you did something so bad that you're probably not going to get that relationship ever back, and you lost 80% of people that were in your life because it was so tied to your career. No matter how shitty things may be, it's just not worth it. It's just not. And it always goes back to the time I interviewed this one guy who jumped off the bridge, and they make it, and they said 100% of the people that they interviewed who made it in the San Francisco Bay Bridge who would jump off.
Suicidal.
The second they let go, that split second, 100% of them regretted letting go.
Oh my goodness.
100% that when they let go,
Wow.
all they thought about is all the people they loved, the great memories in their lives, and they said, I wish I wouldn't have done it.
Oh,
and
man.
God gave them a second chance.
Wow.
In that cold ocean, the high, the drop,
Wow.
the bones, it feels like you're hitting a ton of bricks when you hit the water. So the point is, as you go through this, I think sometimes, you can also put certain thoughts in people's heads to think something is okay or worth it. I just want to, there's a reason why we have the brand Future Looks Bright, because we want to encourage the mindset of future's bright. Things are going to work itself out. Even when nothing was going wrong nothing was going right in my life, I'm like, dude, I don't know what. I got something to look forward to. By the way, something for you to think about. I don't have this for you. I just want to show you. I cannot
open
wait
it.
to be able to show you what's in come September. This will be introduced in September. I
You
cannot.
should be on the side.
Oh, I don't even want to show it. Yeah.
Yeah, be
I
careful.
cannot wait to show you what's in this.
Machleta.
Machleta. Yeah, I can't wait. And you know who we probably will introduce it to first?
Who?
The people in the PBD podcast circle.
Oh,
The
for
people that are
sure.
in there. And by the way, when it goes, it's going to go. So if you're not yet part of the circle, to get today's notes, behind the scenes, many conversations and debates that continue with everybody that watches the podcast, go to PBD Podcast Circle, join it, network with others, put up the stories. There's a lot of debates that happens, a lot of different communication with them there. And so it's another way for us to stay in contact with each other throughout the week when there's not a podcast being done.